Good evening, good morning, and good night. Thank you so very much for joining me again here today. This article is American Idol star Saisha Mercado reunited with newborn daughter. This is by Samantha Abraham. This was on August the 20th of 2021, and it has been updated. American Idol star Saisha Mercado and her partner Tyrone Denier were reunited with their newborn daughter Offset on Friday. The couple posted a video on Instagram showing their sleeping infant daughter, presumably in the car riding home. Mercado, 34, and Denier, 36, could be seen laughing and smiling in the video as they seemed happy to have their baby back, safe and sound. Offset is home. Bring Ra home. Power to the people, Mercado's captioned the clip. Denier thanked the fans for helping them get the resources they needed to get their daughter back from Florida's CPS. We still got work to do to get Ra back. Thank you because of y'all, we had the proper support to get the best attorneys in the county, he said. The couple's child, Amin Ra, was taken 5 months earlier by authorities. He was placed into foster care in March after Mercado's breast milk supply started to run dry, and he would not accept other fluids. He has still not been returned home to Denier and Mercado yet. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office took Offset on August the 11th in a stressful moment that Denier filmed in a now viral video. The two were driving in Florida when the cops surrounded their car and took Offset to a hospital for a physical amid allegations of malnutrition. Mercado told officers while they seized Offset, "How could you guys do this? Do you not feel anything? My baby is days old and you're taking my baby away from me. You're taking my baby away from me. You have no heart. This is so wrong." The pair had started a GoFundMe page to help cover their legal bills, and it has since raised more than $400,000. The fund was entitled Legal Kidnapping of Black Babies Through CPS, and her original goal was $200,000. On Tuesday, the singer weepingly held a virtual news conference where she described how she's missing her two children. Denier joined her on the video and claimed that they are very good citizens and can understand why they're being haunted by the cops. Unfortunately, there's more, sorry. I went somewhere to get assistance. My babies was supposed to come home with me, Mercado said. We should have never been criminalized for getting assistance for something. Our lives revolves around health, balance, and doing what we can to guide our children, Denier said. Nothing that we do is detrimental to our babies. Renowned civil rights attorney Ben Crump, oh my God, I wish I would have got somebody else instead of Ben Crump, but I digress, has taken up Mercado's case. The lawyer made headlines when he defended the families of slain victims Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and Jacob Blake. Crump recently called out the Florida sheriffs for publicly dehumanizing a black family, and he hopes to help Mercado and Denier get both children back. Mercado reps did not respond to the Post's request for comment. And unfortunately, this is normal for America. Unfortunately, let's just go ahead and say it how it is. This is normal for America. America is like, I'm going to put it like this. You know, like when you playing a game and there's rules in place, but these rules are in place. They have double standards. They don't mean the same thing for everybody else. They are set up for like entrapment. Like, if you can't do this, then this is going to happen, and it's going to be the most severe thing. There's no warnings. There's no this. Oh, you should have known this. You should have known this or that. But sometimes people don't know that. Sometimes people don't know how to do certain things. And then these people go out to get assistance. They went to a hospital to get assistance and got their child taken away. And this is how this is set up. Anytime a doctor or somebody that doesn't like you and in a position of power, you do anything wrong and off guard according to them, and it probably couldn't even be anything wrong. And they'll still find a reason to take your kids. It's like they're setting up rules to waiting for you to fail so they can come in and do whatever they want to do. And that's wrong. And now one of the people that we have to really drive home, to really focus in on the problem, is the people themselves inside of CPS. Because again, I feel that they're doing a whole lot of kidnapping and sex trafficking and selling children and all this kind of stuff. Because once these kids are into this system, they are treated more worse than many times. These children are treated worse when they get into that specific system than what they were at home. Being a vigilant person, being paid to be a vigilant person, is a two-edged sword, especially depending on the person. Because if that person believes that a certain group of people can't have children, can't watch children, shouldn't be able to have children, and you got another set of people that want kids, don't matter what the reason why they want the children for, these people feel obligated to supply and demand, and we are its supply. And one of the people that we have to really focus on, and this is the main reason why this family was picked on, was because of the CPS person that did the call, and her name is Sally Smith. Now, Miss Sally has been very, very busy. She takes kids away from their family when there's no real reason to do so. So people are now starting to focus in on her. And to be exact, as a matter of fact, we need to go state by state and look at the people like this, especially when there's a big issue. When there's a whole lot, what is the point of the complaints? What is the point of complaining about these people and you're not doing anything? They ask you to, if you got to complain about the cops, turn in the complaint to the cops so we can see what we can do, and they don't do them but throw it in the trash. Or they just completely ignore it. And they do the same thing. And this is the next thing that we have to understand. We have to make sure that we check all these gatekeepers. All the gatekeepers. Every teacher needs to be looked at. Everyone. Every single one needs to be looked at. Every cop needs to be looked at. Every judge needs to be looked at. Every prosecutor, DA, CPS, everything needs to be looked at. And these people that are destructive and abusive need to be taken out and replaced. Now, this is the real repeal and replace that we really need to be doing. Getting these folks out of these positions that they don't need to be in because they're abusing their position. And it ain't no telling how these people are getting paid for it. They might be getting their own sexual gratificational kicks off on their own. Money, status, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, all that kind of stuff. Now, this raggedy ass woman has already been accused of medical kidnapping. And because she's done this a lot. And she's done this to some white families. And I'm reading one right now where, let's see, born in July. Now, this family is not like a regular, like, American white family in a way. These people came from Russia, okay? But, they got here and they did all the stuff they were supposed to do, and they ended up having a trucking company, which is really good. Okay. So Elena went into labor on a scorching day in July. It will be the second child for her and her husband. They're immigrants from the UK, and they ran a, like I said, the Ukraine, and they ran a trucking business in Sarasota County. Now, I'm not going to read all of it. Okay. So let's see. 2 hours later, when she went into labor, less than 2 hours later, William was born in a torrent of blood, and his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. His face was blue. Bruises dotted his face and shoulders for 2 weeks. He cried every time he was touched. Okay. So they decided to go take him to a pediatrician. And the pediatrician reassured them that that the baby had a traumatic birth and then sensitive skin, but was otherwise healthy. Then, when William was 33 days old, Elena noticed him twitching. At Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, St. Petersburg, doctors found bleeding in William's brain and 2 rib fractures. The next day, and she shouldn't even be fucking called a doctor, really, Sally Smith came in to examine him. Elena and Vadim Kushner said Smith did not introduce herself or answer the couple's questions. Instead, she took photos of every part of William's body, including his genitals, and a bruise on his hand from the IV on her way out. Smith turned to them. "This is child abuse, and I'm going to prove it," she said, according to Vadim. The Crushins had never heard of Smith. Few have. And that is the problem. You have folks on high-ranking positions coming down, not explaining themselves, not telling what's going on, getting their little information or evidence, taking it back up to the higher to their higher planes, moving it, taking out information, putting in information, and then going after and attacking people. This is medical kidnapping. And they took their kid, even though it was documented what was going on with that child ever since that baby was born. They said that the ribs were crushed. They had bruises, all this and all that, but not all that would have been accounted for in the doctor's notes, which is something that she did not read. Now, this family also had another baby, but this one was a little bit older. I think probably about 3, and she had a little bruise on her shoulder. And nobody really noticed it until she pointed it out physically. And the doctor said, "Oh, it's from a seatbelt." Miss Sally Smith didn't care about none of that. All she saw was bruises on kids, and that was a nice little opportunity to go ahead and take that child so that child can be abused by somebody else. And then once that child is abused by somebody else, they can say, "Oh, no. That ain't happened when the kid was with me. That didn't happen when the kid was with me. That happened before. This behavior happened before. This child needs to be punished because of what happened before." We got to stop letting these folks run our lives. Like, this is ridiculous. You got this woman that don't look like she know anything about child raising or nothing. And she out here having the decision to actually take their kids. And y'all do it in such a raggedy ass way. First of all, you got this, back to the Mercado situation. They surrounded her car to take the child. Like, if you don't understand how emotionally damaging that is, not only to the mother and the father, but the baby. And this has happened twice. And y'all just go on about y'all way like, oh, we just doing our job. It's nothing serious. It's nothing important. But y'all taking babies away from their people. And then most of y'all want to sit up here and keep talking about the kids in Mexico being put in cages and stuff like this, like it's something that's brand new. This is nothing that's new. Even during chattel slavery, they would take our children and sell them for profit. Okay, we got to understand that only thing that has changed is what we call it. Everything is still the same from slavery, basically. Everything is still the same. You're just able to move around a little bit more. But I guarantee, if you do have a job by these folks, you better be there on time. You can move around, you can do whatever, but you better be back here on time. You better be back to the plantation on time to work. And we're allowing these people to just take our kids, like, and by force. Like, oh my goodness. There should be no reason that this child was taken away. Now, I could see if it was a call in from someone else that, oh my goodness, this child is not eating. I hear the child cry all day. Like, somebody come and help this. But these people went to you to go get help, and you turn around and screw them over. But then you want us as a people to trust y'all and respect y'all and do what you ask us to do and all this other stuff. And y'all don't give us nothing but your ass to kiss. Okay. I digress. Now this one is... And these people come up with the most elaborate reasons and to take your children or anything else like that. Like any bruise they see is magnified by 10. And like I said, this stuff affects the parent a lot. You've carried this child for 9 months. You had this child. You look after it. You deal with it. Anything that comes sick, what do? You take it to the hospital. But unfortunately, you got enemies in the hospital. Just like this Beta Kowalski. She's a 43-year-old mother of 2. Now, she died by suicide in 2017 after Smith accused her of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a rare disorder in which the parent fakes a child's illness for sympathy or gain. Her family members are now suing Smith and All Children's Hospital for what they said were trumped-up claims. John Stewart, a Marine Corps veteran, spent 300 days in jail on Smith's allegation that he killed his girlfriend's son by throwing him repeatedly against a soft surface. Prosecutors dropped the charges after a neuropathologist contradicted Smith's findings, according to internal memos. So these people, again, are just looking at something and taking it at face value, and if that, okay, if that, and running with these kids and destroying lives. You put a damn Marine Corps, a Corps veteran in jail for 300 days off of stuff that wasn't even true. And this is another white man. Okay? This is another white man. And we continue. Tara Brown, 39, underwent 3 grueling rounds of in vitro fertilization to conceive twins with her physician husband. She was accused of inflicting countless fractures on her 6-week-old infants, but the charges were expunged after another doctor diagnosed them with a rare bone disorder. Sally Smith told me that if I didn't tell them what was wrong, then my children will be put into foster care. Brown said she looked straight at us in the eye and said, "One of you is lying. One of you abused your children." So let's break this sentence down. Let's break this down because I'm pretty sure this is what she has said to plenty of people. If you don't tell me what was wrong, then the children will be put into foster care. If the parents knew what the hell was wrong, why would they need to bring them to the doctor other than to get medication? If they knew exactly what was going on with this child, don't you think they would be more than happy to let you know what's happening? These people in high places get to use lame excuses and reasons on why to disrupt our lives, and we definitely need to figure out on how to stop this from happening. Because these people should not have this much power to take your children. Not when there's nothing going on. Not when the CPS person refuses to actually do the work that they're supposed to do, which is look at the records, look at the files, actually stop and take time to speak to the parents. She didn't speak to these parents, not only but to accuse them and ask them what the fuck they were doing wrong. She just thinks she knows everything, or she could care less about what she knows. She just wants to go ahead and grab these children. We can't keep letting this happen, and actually, this is going to be ended real soon. This is going to be ending real soon, because this is definitely something that should not be happening. I've talked your ear out enough, y'all. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Let me start it over again. Thank you so very much for listening. Like, subscribe, and share. And please join me again for the next article.